The next thing that we're going to talk about in lesson 6 is compound inequalities. So a compound inequality is a pair of inequalities joined by the word and or the word or. And to find solutions, we're just going to solve each part. So to start with, an intersection is a compound inequality with the word and in between. So the solution is the intersection, okay, or the overlapping parts on the number line of each solution. So again, to solve, we're going to solve each piece separately and then put the answer on the same number line. And we're also going to practice doing interval notation. Okay, so our directions tell us to solve and graph each inequality and to write answer in interval notation. So again, to start, I'm just going to solve this part, and then I'm going to solve this one. So we're solving for x. So for this one, we're going to subtract x over to the other side. So we would have x greater than 6. And I'm going to go to the next one and solve that. So this one is easy. We just add 7 to each side. So we have x less than 9. And again, we're still going to have that and in between. So if we do our number line next, and sometimes doing the number line also helps us with interval notation because it's a little bit easier to see. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if we graph, I'm going to have an open circle on 6. I'm going to have an open circle on 9. So for this side, we're going to shade to the right, and we're going to shade to the left of 9. So it's going to be this middle piece that we're including in that. So that means our answers can only be between 6 and 9. So to write that in interval notation, our smallest number is 6. The biggest number that we can have is 9. And we're not including either number in, so that means that we're going to have parentheses around this. So that's our interval notation. And make sure that you understand that we're talking about and don't confuse this with a point, because that's a different idea. So understand that we are talking simply interval notation, and that this means the same thing as these inequalities. All right, next one. So when we're looking at this, this is an and statement because we have 3 pieces together. So for this one to solve, we want to separate it. So the first one, we're just going to ignore this piece of it. So we're going to solve -6 less than 2x minus 4. And then for our second one, so I'm going to write and here, and then we ignore this side. So it's going to be 2x minus 4 less than 12. So to solve this one, we would need to add 4 to both sides. So this will give us -2 less than 2x, and then we would divide both sides by 2. So -1 less than x, and then we need to flip this around. So x greater than -1. And then we're going to solve our second one. So this time we're going to add 4. So 2x less than 16. And then we divide by 2, so x is going to be less than 8. And again, even though I have it writing, it and is in between these two. So let's do our number line first. Okay, so we're going to have -1 on this side. I'm just not going to write the middle. And we know that 8 is going to be on this side. So again, we don't have the equal to symbol on there. So we're going to have open circles. And then we're shading to the right of -1, so that's this way, and to the left of 8. So again, we're going to be in between these two. So interval notation, again, our smallest number will be -1. Our biggest number is 8. And since neither are included, we're just going to put parentheses around these. Now the other thing too, for intersection, later on, the math symbol for that, since it's an and statement, is going to be this big N like that. Okay, so we want to kind of think of it as a bridge. So if you see that in readings elsewhere online, that stands for intersection. Okay, so the overlapping parts.